There's a man pushing a boulder up a hill. He's strong, disciplined. He never stops, but he'll never reach the top because the hill keeps growing back faster than he can climb. This is how most people are living right now, and they've been told it's a virtue. We call it hard work, but here's the truth nobody says out loud. Working hard might be the most expensive way to stay exactly where you are, because while you're trading hours for dollars, a small group of people are doing something completely different, and it's not what you think. So let me show you the math nobody ever explained to you. We all inherited a story. Work hard, keep your head down, stay loyal, and one day you'll be rewarded. For our grandparents, that story was mostly true. It was a world of factories and pensions. Effort and income were linked. More hours meant more pay. But that world is gone now, and the story stayed behind. So today, millions of people are running the hardest, most disciplined version of a strategy that quietly stopped working decades ago. They're not lazy. They're not stupid. They've just been misinformed. They're pulling as hard as they can on a rope that isn't attached to anything. And here's the uncomfortable part. Hard work feels productive. The exhaustion feels like progress. At the end of a brutal week, you feel like you earned something. And you did. You earned a paycheck. But a paycheck isn't wealth. A paycheck is rent you collect on yourself. And it stops the moment you do. That's the real trap. It isn't laziness. It's the opposite. It's effort without leverage. And the harder you pull, the more you believe that pulling harder is the answer. So let me make this simple. There are really only two kinds of income in this world. The first is linear. You work an hour, you get paid for an hour, 2 hours, 2 units of pay. It's fair, it's predictable, and it has a ceiling bolted right to the top of it, because you've only got 24 hours in a day, and you have to sleep through some of them. That's the cage, not your salary, the structure itself. Because no matter how skilled you get, no matter how fast you run, a linear income is always capped by the hours in your body. The second kind of income is exponential. You do the work once, and it keeps paying you. While you sleep, while you eat, while you live your life. The effort and the reward come unhooked from each other. And that's the whole difference between the people who get ahead and the people who stay stuck. It was never about who worked harder. In fact, the person earning linear income usually works more hours than the person earning exponential income. They just attached their effort to two completely different machines. One needs your hand on it every second. The other one runs without you. And once you see that difference, you can't unsee it. The question stops being, how do I work harder? And becomes, how do I build something that works without me? There's a single word for that machine that runs without you. Leverage. Leverage is anything that multiplies your effort. You put in the same force, and something amplifies it on the other end. The wealthy aren't stronger than you. They've just attached their effort to things that multiply. And there are only a few forms of it. The first is other people, labor. You hire, you delegate. Your effort gets multiplied by their hours. It's the oldest form of leverage there is. It works. But it's expensive, it's slow, and managing people becomes a full-time job of its own. The second is capital, money that works for you. You invest, and your money starts earning while you sleep. Incredibly powerful. But the catch is obvious. You need money first, which is exactly what most people are still trying to build. But there are two kinds of leverage that changed everything, because they're almost free, and they don't ask anyone for permission. The first is products, a piece of software, a digital product, something you build one time. that can be copied infinitely at almost zero cost. Build it once, sell it 1,000,000 times. It's your effort frozen into something that sells itself. And the second, the one almost nobody takes seriously, is media and code, content, audiences, software that works while you sleep. For the first time in history, you can replicate yourself, your ideas, your skills, your work, for free, and reach millions of people, without a factory, without a boss, without anyone's permission. This is the lever sitting right in front of you, the one that costs nothing, the one you're probably ignoring right now, because it doesn't feel like hard work, and we've all been trained to trust the things that exhaust us. So here's the shift. It's small, but it changes everything. Stop asking, how do I work harder? Start asking, what can I build that works without me? The first question keeps you on that hill, pushing the boulder, forever. The second one hands you a lever. Now, this doesn't mean you stop working. Building leverage is hard. Honestly, at the start, it's often harder than a normal job. The difference is where the work goes. When you work for linear income, the work disappears the moment you stop. But when you build leverage, every hour you put in keeps paying you, long after that hour is gone. It's the difference between carrying water and digging a well. Both are hard work, but only one of them ever ends. So the real question isn't whether you're willing to work. You clearly are. You're still here. The question is whether you'll spend that effort on something that compounds, instead of something that resets to zero every morning. So what do you actually do? Starting this week, you don't quit your job tomorrow. That's not the move. The move is to take a small slice of your time, even just an hour a day, and redirect it from linear to leveraged. Take a skill you already have, the thing people already pay you for, or come to you for advice about, and start turning it into something that can exist without you sitting there. Write it down, record it, build it into a product, a piece of content, a simple system. Just make one thing this week that can be copied, shared, or sold more than once. It'll feel slow. It'll feel small. It'll feel like nothing compared to the exhausting, visible progress of a hard day's work. But that feeling is the trap talking. The boulder feels like progress. The well feels like nothing. Right up until the day you stop. And the water keeps coming. The boulder was never the problem. The hill was. You were handed a story. It said the reward is waiting at the top, if you just push hard enough, for long enough. But the people who actually made it there did something much quieter. They stopped climbing, and they started building something that climbs for them. So stop pushing harder. Start building leverage. Because in the end, the future doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage. And the only question left is which lever you'll pull first.